Brilliant. Right, we just had our little mishap on our firing. It's something, I don't know what it is. Let's not worry about it now, because we're going to Desborough. I've got some light in this petrol station because it is 5 o'clock in January, so obviously it's dark now, so I'm not going to see much. So I'm heading to Desborough, where Dunstable Town are going to be playing Desborough Town in the Gladwish Trophy, and it's 55 miles, so I'm thinking about staying the night. I found there's a Sainsbury's which doesn't seem to have any parking restrictions, so I'm going to give that a whirl. It says we're going to get there for 6:30, and it's going to be like a 7:45 kickoff, so if I do get there for 6:30, I might have time for a pint in the George, which will be nice after this drive, because it is an hour and 20 minutes, which for a 2-bob League Cup game is crazy. Doing this sort of distance on a Tuesday night, and it should really be played on a Saturday. But there we go. Right, I'll probably catch you when we get there, because there'll be no footage on the way because it's bloody dark. See you in a bit. Bye. If you can see me. Bye. If we do a right here to the A45, which is going to take us in the direction of Ketamine, which will then in turn get us in the rough area of Desborough. I've just got to go around this tricky, it's not quite a roundabout, it's not quite a traffic light, well it's traffic lights and a roundabout, but oh, it's weird. If you've been to Junction 15 you know what I'm talking about. Right, we'll see how we get on. We've still got an ETA of 6:30. It says it's going to be 46 minutes to do 23 miles. So let's see how we get on. Tricky. Still says ETA 6:30. So I'm assuming that Waze, good old Waze, has factored in this little bit of traffic. It says it's only a 5-minute jam, so hopefully we won't be sat here for too long. We are here at Sainsbury's in Desborough. Now, Vincent looking resplendent, obviously, in the Sainsbury's car park. Now, if we look at this sign here, this is a Euro car parks. So I'm pretty sure that one of the apps I've got, I should be able to sort out some parking. So I'm going to lock up and go get some milk, have a wee, and then we'll try and sort this out. Right, it appears that we can't stop here. Looking at the board, it doesn't seem to be any indication that we can stay any longer than 90 minutes, I think, that they're allowed. I've had a quick look on the Euro Car Parks, not car parks, Euro Car Parks website, and this just does not appear on there. So we're going to have to find somewhere else to stay. But we'll find somewhere, don't worry. Right, we have found a space, which I think I'm going to try and leave here. It's right by the church, which you might be able to see there. And she's looking lovely. I'm going to leave it here. I'll have a walk up to the pub, have a pint, and see if there's anything better on the way. If not, this might be it. And now we're walking up the road to the ground, which Google Maps reliably informs me is only 10 minutes. So I should make it plenty of time. So on my famous 10 minutes, it turns out to be 40 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes to the ground. Right, got time for a beer. What are we? 10 minutes? Yeah, go on. No, I'll skip that. I'll have a Coke Zero, please. Another club with no beer. Oh, there we go. We accept card payments, fantastic. Evening.
You're alright.
Yeah, good, thanks, you.
Being piggy in the middle.
Yeah, one grown up, please.
Is that correct?
And it's a little bit open. Might be alright. Let me get behind there. Let's go, Reds, come on. There we go. Oh! Oh, come on, Reds. Let's keep going, Reds, come on. Yeah! Get in there!
Salesy!
What a finish!
Come on, Owen!
Go, Sosie! Let's go, Reds, come on!
Over me! Keep up!
Woo!
Left back, left back!
Right, it is still raining in Desborough. I've had a couple of pints in there, in the George. More than a couple, I would say. Two before the game. I think I've had 4 afterwards. Yeah, we'll reassess the game when we get back to the van, because this weather is awful. Oh, Alta Rica, on special offer in Sainsbury's, in Desborough, with my reputation. Key word for tonight is awful. It was an awful game on an awful pitch against an awful team in awful conditions with an awful ref. Desborough scored, well, like in the 4th or 5th minute. Went 1-0 up and they were 2-0 up. By half time, we got back into it in the second half, 2-1. But the referee was, I think I'd be kind to say he was out of his depth. That's us, out of the Gladwish Trophy for another year. And quite possibly the last year. You've probably heard on the rumour mill that the old Cuckoos are trying to strong arm their way in under a merger. I'm not convinced by it all. Thing is, a lot of the people that are involved at Dunstable Town now weren't on the scene when they were forced upon us, when the Beds FA and Central Bedfordshire Council walked down to Chrissy Park with a 100-page document and threatened to shut us down if we didn't accept AFC Dunstable as our tenants, or co-tenants. not our tenants, our co-tenants. So yeah, we were shafted a long time ago. And then let's go back 8 years when we were at step 3, 2 divisions above where we are now, with no budget. Well, 2 seasons really, with no budget. Players, supporters doing a lot of miles, going down to, you know, Truro and Weymouth and Gosport and up to Hereford and Bromsgrove, you know, for free essentially, you know, to keep the club going. And those cuckoos were circling, waiting for us to go tits up so they could come and take over Creasy Park. Now they want us to sort of like bury that hatchet and say, oh, let's all be one club. I'm not sure if I want to be part of that. I stand shoulder to shoulder with people like that. I really don't. Right, these are our 2 pounds. This is your standard Ridge Monkey. Okay, this is the XL, I think. And as you can see, there's a lot of room around here. Our little Chinese AliExpress version of the Ridge Monkey, which, as you can see, fits a slice of bread perfectly. And this little beauty is what we'll be using tonight. This is the secret to the perfect toastie. Everybody says make sure you put butter on your bread when you make a toastie, but mayonnaise has a higher burn point than butter, so that gives you a little bit of leeway for the perfect toastie, because it means that you can get away with cooking it a little bit longer, making sure that cheese melts, and make sure, of course, got to have Marmite in that. We all love Marmite. If you don't love mayo. Okay, just a little bit of mayo on our bread. Here we go. Also, what you've got to remember is I'm 6 pints of landlord in, so this might be a little bit of slapdash. A little bit of pepper, yeah, so that's going to be cooking. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Okay, right. Mayonnaise side down. Now, perfect cheese toastie. Extra mature cheese for taste. Okay, gotta have extra mature. Right, get that cheddar in there. Push it out to the corners. Okay, beautiful. Then the extra stringy cheese. Mozzarella. Pop that on the top like that. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Next. Oh, Marmite. Squeezy, obviously. That's the way forward. It's the future. Squeezy Marmite. There we go. Squeeze it in. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, look at it. It's doing a big Marmite-y plop on top of your cheese. It's doing a Marmite-y plop. Oh, my God. I'm going to regret this when I try and edit it. Look at that. Oh. Big Marmite plop. Yes. salt and pepper on top of our mayonnaise. Then we get the other half of our pan. Squeeze and cheese. Right. Let me give that about a minute and a half. And that's the secret. 1.5 minutes each side, and then 30 seconds each side, just to give it a little crisp up. Trust me. And there we go. Look at that. That is hot. Ow. Cheers, big ears. Cheese toasty time. You can see, whoa, look how lovely. Whoa, caramelised that top is. Here we go, going in. That's why you get the mozzarella. It's perfect. Oh, look at that. So, recap. Mayonnaise, not butter. 2 types of cheese. Extra mature for a taste. Mozzarella for string. And don't forget, salt and pepper on the top. I'm going to bed. Well, actually, I'm going to cook another one of these, and then I'm going to bed. So I'll probably see you in the morning. We're going to have a look at the church. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye. It's a miserable morning. I can't show you much because I'm not going to get wet, but this is the back to St Giles. It goes as a nice, I'm assuming the vicarage there, which is very nice. There's the clock and the lovely clock tower. It goes off every hour and every half hour. And just yards from the church was my little sleeping place. Nice little park up, very, very quiet until about 6 o'clock. Obviously normal traffic started up. Right, we've got a nice, right next to the War Memorial. I'll spin around. You can see how close I was to the church. Vincent looking resplendent in the rain. Right, so you've got the War Memorial here, and then right opposite there is their services club. It's now 11:30. I've been sat here for an hour and a half trying to get this damn van started. It's definitely something. I don't know if it's the immobiliser unit or something, but anyway. Disconnected the battery twice, left it like 15 minutes, hopefully, and that resets it. Had the battery pack on it, boosting it, still wouldn't start. I got to the last bit of juice in the bottom of the bloody battery, and then all of a sudden it fires up. And obviously, since then, I've phoned up the AA, and of course, you know, sod's law being what it is, once you put in come and find me, literally 10-15 minutes after that, it started up. So I've just cancelled the AA. Yeah, so now I'm heading home. It's 50 miles from here. This says it's going to take an hour and 5, which will be interesting because it was like nearly an hour and a half to get here. So we'll see. Interesting that I'm parked by the church, as you've seen, and right next to the community centre, or the church's community centre, and not one of these Christians has asked me if I'm okay. Not one. Sorry, up here on the right is the George, and this is where I went for a few pints last night. Very, very nice pint of landlord, Timothy Taylor's landlord. It was dark night, so it was very, very busy. Typical town centre pub. A few Herberts in there, a couple of old boys. But yeah, they had Champions League football on and like 2 darts matches, so it was quite busy. But yeah, very nice. As I say, Timothy Taylor landlord's very good. They also had Doom Bar. So yeah, very, very nice. It's a nice little town. I don't know how big it is in comparison to Dunstable. But yeah, quite pleasant. With the greatest of respect, I hope I never come back, because I certainly don't want to go and watch any football at Desborough. And I'm not sure quite what else the town has to offer, so it sounds a bit harsh, but there we go. Many years ago, probably about 15 years, when I did my driver training for Asda deliveries. Must have been about 15 years ago. We did our training for a month, I think, up at the superstore in Kettering. So I've done this ketamine run. Ketamine makes it sound like I'm a dealer. I've done this ketamine run quite a few times, and it is horrible. It's lovely. It's a nice motorway up to Northampton, and then you get on the A45. It's lovely, dual carriageway. Then you get onto the A43 that we're on now, and it is roundabout after roundabout. Every couple of miles there's a roundabout, sometimes less than a couple of miles, and it's slow down, speed up, go round a roundabout. Yeah, it's horrible. I've forgotten how horrible it was until I was trying to drive it last night in the dark and the rain. Yeah, it's not pleasant. I mean, it's not very light now, and it's raining. Maybe it's just Kettering. Maybe the place is just so depressing that it's got a permanent rain cloud over it. Maybe that's why all their games get postponed when the sun's out. They're not used to it. Yeah, why I didn't fancy starting this morning, I don't know. But he really didn't want to start this morning. I still think it's a problem with the immobiliser. So I might have to get the immobiliser unit out. See if ways of bypassing it or replacing it. So I think that's what the problem is. Because it turns over fine, and then all of a sudden it just fires up. Crank sensor's been replaced. Can only be immobiliser, I think. But then what do I know? I am in no way, shape or form a mechanic. we go. M1 baby, nearly home. Right, we've made it home. Vincent, despite not wanting to start, started and got us home in one piece. Blow a few of the cobwebs out. Hope you enjoyed the soon to be new feature, Scran in the van with Popsie. We will obviously do better things than cheese toasties, but I thought best to start with a good van life staple of a cheese toastie. And we'll probably do some other variations of the cheese toastie, including the eggy bread version in the Ridge Monkey. So I'm going to go and charge up my battery charger because that is now flat. Thanks for joining me, and don't work too hard, and hopefully I will see you next Tuesday.
Like and subscribe, Popsie.